how some Gothic fiction has a way of staying with you and haunting you long after you've watched or read it, because it does such a fine job of combining horror elements and death and sometimes romance in such a haunting way? Yeah, that's not this movie right here. I'm reviewing Netflix's Rebecca. Hey Twisted people, it's your Twisted Girl Next Door here, Chauncey K. Robinson, and today I am doing a spoiler-free review of Netflix's Rebecca. Now, the way I break down my reviews is I give you my pros, cons, trigger warnings, the Emotional Carnage damage report, aka how is this movie going to make you feel, and finally my twisted final grade. The film is based on the 1938 Gothic novel of the same name. Rebecca tells the story of a young newlywed who moves to her husband's imposing estate, where she must contend with his sinister housekeeper and the haunting shadow of his late wife. As some of you may know, the master of suspense, aka Alfred Hitchcock himself, did a 1940 version of Rebecca, which won an Academy Award for the Best Picture. So, you know, this movie has a lot of, big shoes to fill when it comes to it. So you think they'd bring their A game a bit, considering who they were following after. It's pretty. It is a pretty film, you know, in the sense of, it's that time period, that kind of old Hollywood glam to it, even though it's, not even taking place in the United States. But it has that sort of, old-timey kind of feel, pretty cars from the 1930s, 1940s, the dress, the look, the kind of glam that we've seen in films of that era. And it kind of imitates that. And if you're into that, it's pretty. The main highlight of this film is the character Mrs. Danvers. And from what I've read, this character was also a very key standout in the Alfred Hitchcock version. Not to totally compare, but if nothing else, they got that right with that character, Mrs. Danvers, the creepy housekeeper who just can't seem to let the shadow go of the previous wife when it comes to the newlywed young woman. There's a serious lack of chemistry when it came to the two main characters. And that was unfortunate because this is Gothic romance, right? So this is another thing I'm going to get to it a little bit with my kind of major con when it comes to, or my major rotten part when it comes to this film. But yeah, let's just go with the fact that the nucleus of this is a romance, right? In a way. And yeah, they just didn't sell me on that, because that has to be kind of the main, major driving force of why you would even care. The lead, Hammer, was somewhat stiff in the portrayal of it, and I think he mistook being stoic and kind of cold with being stiff. And Lily James, who plays the main character in this, she was okay. She was solid with what she was given, but I don't know. I don't feel like she was given much. There is a serious lack of Gothicness in this film. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. No, I know what I was expecting. A Gothic romance. And okay, so it's not straight out horror necessarily, Gothic, right? Gothic fiction is kind of this way, I kind of think of, I know it's debatable whether Edgar Allan Poe is Gothic, but I kind of think he is, right? It's this thing where sometimes it's a ghost story without there actually being a ghost. Sometimes it's about the darkness of the human condition, the human spirit, and when it's Gothic romance, there's supposed to be kind of this underlying terror, pleasurable terror going on, and sort of this kind of, there's something brimming under the surface here, and there's a certain danger to it. That was not there. That wasn't there at all. They could have just called this a romance for whatever romance was kind of portrayed in it. Trigger warnings are suicide and cancer. When it comes to the emotional carnage of this film, not much in the sense of the film itself, but there are certain themes that may make you feel some type of way depending on what you've gone through in your life when it comes to romance. Because one of the main themes in this movie is the idea of being haunted by previous relationships, whether it's supernatural or not. It's just this idea of being haunted with the shadow of your past, more so your romantic past, and what it does to a person depending on what they go through. So due to that, that is definitely something that may get you in your feelings depending on who you can identify with when it comes to the two characters. But it definitely plays on the theme of, if you got some issues with your ex, or someone's got some issues with your ex in your new relationship, yeah, it's definitely gonna, get your mind going there. But that's about it. My twisted final grade for Rebecca is a C-. Okay, Twisted people, so that is my spoiler-free review of Rebecca. I didn't really hate it, but I didn't really love it, and I think they could have done a better job. So let me know your thoughts. Did you watch Rebecca? Comment down below. Do you have some better recommendations for Gothic fiction? Do you agree with my description of Gothic fiction? Do you think I got it totally wrong? Am I kind of judging this movie a little too harshly based off of what I expected it to be, given that it was based off of a Gothic novel? Let me know, comment down below, and also be sure to subscribe so that you're the first to know when I post my videos. Thanks for watching. Let's get creepy together.